Well, hi there, and welcome to Bella's Vistas. We've been planning this trip for quite some time. We're going to go up to Rondeau Park and find some birds to photograph. We planned on going to Peely too, but the weather was not conducive to that trip. Wow, a Bonaparte Gull, my find of the trip. This is the map of Rondo. This is where we're going. We're going to get some wonderful photographs. Alas, unbelievable. Mary had spent a couple days getting the van all cleaned up and ready to go, and when I got up in the morning, the window was smashed in the van. I couldn't believe it. What a mess. Some kids were playing with rocks and threw a rock through the window of the van. Such a drag. It's going to be quite a job to get it fixed. I've been looking for a replacement window for some time now. I went over to Howard's, and Howard had this. It looked like it was going to fit right in, but wouldn't. So we spent about 4 hours working on that. What we wound up doing was cutting a piece of plexiglass and putting it in. That'll keep the water out, but it's very noisy driving, and I don't like it at all. But it was free. Look at all the glass. That was in our bed and everything like that when I vacuumed it up. See, there's our sheets in the bed. What a mess. So it took us another 2 or 3 hours to clean the van, vacuum everything up, and get ready to go. Wow, it felt so good to be leaving town though, and to be out on the highway and know what I was planning. We're at Rondo now, and believe it or not, I bought a campsite for the night there. It was quite reasonable, really, overpaying 2 day passes because we wanted to be there for a couple days and I didn't want to be driving back and forth. So here we are, we're driving into the park. First thing I'm doing is just finding a place to camp and then looking for some birds to photograph. And we found lots of birds to photograph, that's for sure. This was my favorite. This is the Bonaparte Gull. And I couldn't believe it. I was using the red dot sight, and it was so easy to follow this bird. They're tiny and they're off in the distance, but I was able to track it, get a little wingtip touchdown here. First thing in the morning, the first thing I did is put on my coffee. I had it all set up beforehand, so all I had to do was turn on the propane and hit the sparker. Unfortunately, leaving it out overnight, the little arcer in the coffee maker got damp, so I had to use a lighter to get it going, but that's okay. We got 8 cups of coffee ready, so we're looking at a little bit overproof coffee, but that's okay because I'm feeling the need for a good cup of coffee. And I'm going to go down to the beach and see what I can find.
Coffee cups are all stacked by the coffee maker with care. Hoping that soon, well, whatever, I'm going to have a coffee pretty soon.
Wow, what a morning. Just a short walk from our campsite and I was right at the water. This is just fantastic. Lots of birds off in the distance. I can hear them too. And we're going to have such a time here. It's just so peaceful when you have a campsite like that. You don't have to worry about getting a knock in the middle of the night or anything like that. You're close to the action. You're right where you want to be. Usually I'll go to Walmart or something like that, but we stayed here and it was just great.
Getting back from the beach now, I got a little footage. I'm sure you've already seen it at this point, but the coffee's getting ready. Van is looking really good. This is a 1995. The only thing, man, this is such a heartbreaker. My window is broken and Howard and I put this piece of plexiglass in there, but I'm hoping I can get a replacement window somehow.
This was right near our campsite, this wonderful Screech Owl. Fantastic. I was so happy to find it there. I got shots of it at sunset. Here it is at the sunset. The sunset is lighting its eye. This is a little bit later on. He's got his eyes open now. I'm shooting really wide open and slow shutter speed, handheld with the Olympus OM-1 with the 300mm. In the morning, wow, I got some more shots. Now I signed up for this little $15 tour, and I was so relaxed taking this tour. Usually when I'm off on my own, I think, oh, I'm going to miss all the good shots and I should be over here or over there. Here we got this young fella, the guide. He knows the birds. He can tell by the sound. He's got young ears and young eyes, so we didn't miss anything, I don't think.
Looking for the swamp sparrow here.
A great group of people. Everybody was so friendly. I find that with birders that they're really friendly, just like the deep sky photographers, unless you turn on a flashlight, like my one friend said. Wow, the red-eyed Vero, beautiful bird. There were some people here with really long lenses. Well, I had the 300mm and the 2X on the OM-1, so it was working really well for me. Lots and lots of different birds. Of course, we got the red-winged blackbird, just like we have here. Baltimore Oriole, beautiful bird. Yeah, it's a dedication some people have to this hobby. Another beautiful bird. Now, if you stick through to the end, Mary's put the labels of the birds and put the settings on a lot of them, you know, so you'll know the settings that I was using. The birds really tend to hide behind things, and it's a bit hard to autofocus on them sometimes. This guy was just strutting along. There's a rose-bellied grosbeak. A yellow warbler jumping off the branch. That was exciting for me. Gray catbird, beautiful bird. Has a really nice texture to their feathers. There's a gray catbird, a beautiful one. Now, some of the people had these books where they're writing the dates when they found the birds and where they found them, and they showed me some pictures of the birds. Mary was shooting some video here where she just got out of the van and she got a bunch of video, and then she set up her tripod, and after she set up the tripod, the birds never came back again. So it's a good thing that you got this video, even if it might be a little bit shaky. But it's nice to have. This little guy's singing his heart out. There we've got the Bonaparte Gull. There's my owl. I'm loving the Screech Owls. The red-eyed Vero. Scarlet Tanager. Baltimore Oriole. Cape May Warbler. Some of the birds we have in Kitchener, but a lot of these guys were new to me. This, I believe we've got the rose-breasted. And the yellow warbler, I've gotten those along the mill race. The gray catbird, we've got some of those here too. Nevertheless, it was wonderful. Yeah, the eastern kingbird, that's the one. It was so nice to see these birds. There's an eagle. I got this one when I was off hiking by myself. And there's an adult eagle, a mature one. And there's the park. I highly recommend Rondeau Park. I really do.